Devils lose to the Wildcats. McDonald steps in to take the draw. Wildcats pick it up. Lindemann gets a good backhand on it. Keep it at center ice. Bit messy. McDonald runs into his man. Marlborough cycling back in his own end. Gets it to Lindemann. Off the near wing for Schleier. He'll chip it out of the zone up to McDonald. McDonald in over the blue line, doesn't quite connect on that shot. Schleier picks him up off the backboards to himself, gets it to the far corner. Wildcats clear the zone. Inman chips it into the near corner. Wildcats fire it back up to center ice. Paquette brings it in over the blue line. Deep in the far corner. Off the far boards. Smith just hops over a stick. Wildcats capitalized. Down the ice, in over the blue line. Weak shot, steered wide by Ellsworth. Cinco, Paquette, and the back corner. Up to Bray on the near wing. Bray, second effort, gets it to Cinco. In over the blue line. Smith couldn't get the backhand. Wildcats clear it out to center ice. Paquette to McEwen. Wildcats back in the Devils zone. Paquette with a good stick to break up that rush. Bray clears it to center ice. That's about as far as that'll go. Douglas with a good stick. Touched it high, that'll get a whistle. Face off to the right of Ellsworth. McDonald steps in to take it, gets it to Douglas on the far wing. McDonald. Back to Topner. He'll send it to the near wing. Just out of the reach of Freer. Topner back in, picks it up. Elects to take it out the far side. Douglas, clearing attempt, didn't make it out. Wildcats dump it back in the zone. Freer. Back to Topner. Up to Martin on the near wing. He'll clear the zone. McDonald couldn't quite get it around his man. Wildcats back in the zone. McDonald skates it out over the blue line up through center. Stick checked by the Wildcats. They'll get it back towards the Devils' blue line. Freer clears the zone. Wildcats chip it back in. McDonald spinning around the far boards. Gets it up to Martin at center ice. He'll send it into the near corner. Chase it down himself. Martin tied up. Donald to the blue line, doesn't keep it in. Wildcats back down the near wing. Barth. Loose puck. Ellsworth will cover it for a whistle. 12:05 to go in the first period. McDonald in for the draw. Bouncing puck, McDonald chips it. Marlborough sends that all the way down the ice. Icing's waved off. The Wildcats goaltender right to play it. Barth in the far corner. Cycles it in deep for Slyer. Slyer tries to center it. Hits a stick. McDonald steps in. Wildcats come out with it to the near corner. Off the glass. Dumped back in the zone by the Devils. Slyer pressuring. Picks up on the back of the net. Gets it to the near corner. Here to Marlborough at the point. He'll let a shot go about 3 feet wide. Rebound comes to Hinman at the opposite point. Shot blocked by Wildcats. Barth in the near corner. Cycles it in deep for McDonald, who runs into the linesman. Back to Hinman at the point. He'll take a shot. Blocker saved by the Wildcats goaltender. Marlborough gets the rebound. Takes it in deep. Stretch pass intended for Hinman. Intercepted by the Wildcats. At center ice. Barth lifts it. Now we got a whistle. Marcinko takes the drop. Wildcats win it back, and their defense will chip it up to center ice. Paquette. Smith. Wildcats chip it around. Paquette in. 2-on-1 odd man rush. Shot off the crossbar and out. Second effort. Somehow misses the net. Bray at the half boards. Marcinko steps in, gets it to Paquette. Back to Bray. He gets bumped. Paquette, Marcinko, and Bray along the near corner. Back in behind the Devils net. Centering pass. Wildcats couldn't handle it. Smith turns and fires that down the ice to get a whistle for ice. 10:06 to go in the first period. Braden McDonald steps in to take this draw. Wins it back. Softner. He'll fire it harder on the boards to the blue line. Not out. Freer. Good effort. Gets it to McDonald at center ice. McDonald and over the blue line. Chips it to the far corner. Barlow. And McDonald in the far corner. This puck picked up by the Wildcats. Clear to the blue line. Topner keeps it in. Barlow. He gets bumped. Loose puck picked up by McDonald. Toe drag gets chipped by the Wildcats. He'll clear to the blue line, kept in. Shot didn't get all of it by Barlow. Clear to the far corner. Martin to McDonald. Hard shot. Gloved down by the forward. Martin with a backhand chipped high over the net. Wildcats to the near half boards, up to center. Hinman collects it back in his own zone. Sends it to the opposite corner for Marlborough. Off the boards to Barlow at the blue line. Barlow to Hinman. At center ice, just overskated. His second effort brings it in over to the Wildcats blue line. He'll dump it to the opposite corner for Barlow. Barlow to McDonald behind the net. Out front, hits a skate, deflects to the near half boards. Cleared up to center by the Wildcats. jumping attempt by Marlborough off of McDonald. That'll roll back to his own goal. Imminent. Cross ice. Barlow in over the blue line. Barlow. Drop pass to Hinneman. Wildcats collect it, send it down into the Devils blue line. McDonald's there, tries to steer it. Loose puck, shot. Ellsworth got a pad on that one, clear wide. McDonald up to center ice. He gets bumped. Wildcats send it off to the opposite wing. Wildcats in over the Devils blue line. Park on his man, gets a piece. Gets it to Paquette. Paquette clears the zone up to center ice, chips it into the Wildcat zone. Paquette picks up the zone puck, gets it to the far corner. Flyer off the glass. McDonald, Paquette back at the blue line. Sends it in deep behind the goal. Carrying pass, hits a skate, comes all the way out of the zone. Barth wins that foot race, gets a piece of the puck. Sends it to McEwen. McEwen back to Paquette. He'll pick it up off the boards to Slyer, touches it, just the wrong side of center for icing. Cinco takes the draw. Tries to get it to McEwen. Wildcats off the side of the net. Rebound comes to the near corner. Ray, Cinco, backhand to the blue line, not out. Shot attempt from the Wildcats. Hits a body and comes out to center ice. Cinco dumps it in. They'll go behind the Wildcats net. They'll bring up to the near boards. McEwen keeps it in the zone. Cinco at the blue line. Back to McEwen at center ice. He'll dump it back in the zone. Wildcats cleared out. Ray with a backhand. Dumps it back in. Wildcats cleared all the way down the ice for icing. McDonald steps in for the draw. Left of the Wildcats goaltender. Strong draw. McDonald wins it to Parlow, circling at the blue line. Lifts it past the defense. Parlow in the near corner. McDonald kicks it to his backhand. Runs out of real estate. Wildcats pick it up. They'll pass it up through center ice. McDonald going to the box for interference. Don't quite understand that. They were both fighting for the puck. Devils go to the penalty kill. 6:11 to go in the first period. McDonald takes the draw. He wins it clean. Hindeman turns, fires it down the near wing. Flyer picks up center ice and sends it back to the opposite corner of the Wildcat zone. Wildcats regroup up to center. Intercepted by Flyer. He'll be happy to send that into the Wildcat zone. Pressuring. Wildcats misplayed it, but they come up with the puck and bring it up to center. In over the blue line. Backhand. Ellsworth got a piece of it, cleared it to the near corner. Wildcats at the blue line. Shot over the net. Flyer turns, fires, hops over the defense stick, rolls all the way into the Wildcat zone. McDonald in on the forecheck does a good job tying him up. Almost capped one on that one. Wildcats backing over the blue line. Catches an edge, just dumps the puck in the near corner. That'll roll to the far side. Hindeman backhands that. Way into the Wildcat zone. Barth in deep, turns, fires it back into his own zone. McEwen lets that go to the opposite corner for Paquette. Paquette turns hard off the board, past the Wildcats defense, shot on target. 25 seconds to go on the penalty. Wildcats in deep, passed up to center ice, in over the Devils' blue line, cutting across. Marcinko gets a good shot, clears it out of the zone. Barth picks up the loose puck, back in his end to Paquette in the far corner. Back to even strength. Devils did a good job clearing out that penalty. Barth off the back of the net to Paquette in the near corner. Paquette picks it up, clears it off the glass. That'll go all the way down. Icing waved off. Wildcats were there in time. Smith chasing. Wildcats up to their blue line, up through center. Back in the Devils' territory. Cinco does a good job tying up his man. Gets the puck in the far corner. The Devils are going back to the box. Devils penalty number 8, 2 minutes for body contact. .331 to go in the first period. Martin steps in to take the draw. He wins it cleanly forward all the way down into the Wildcat zone. Goaltender's out to play it. Barlow pressuring. Martin almost intercepted it. Wildcats back in the Devils zone to the far corner. Marlborough lifts it to the half boards, held there at the blue line by the Wildcats. He'll turn, fire it around the glass behind the net. Indeman sends it to the half boards, but no further. Indeman digging at it. Parlow, they'll get it to the blue line and out. Martin pressuring. Clear it to center. Indeman intercepts it, turns, dumps it on target. Devils will get 2 changed. 1 minute to go in the penalty. Wildcats back to center. Martin slows his man down. Wildcats still with possession, cleared out of the zone. Marlborough at the blue line, clears it out, shot, missed high and wide by the Wildcats. Douglas, he gets a piece, lifts it through center all the way down into the Wildcat zone. 25 seconds to go in the Devils penalty. Just under 2 minutes to play in the period. Douglas pressuring. McDonald read that play, intercepts it, brings it into the zone to the near boards where he gets bumped. McDonald happily holding it along the far boards. Devils penalty's over, back to 5-on-5. Wildcats played up the near wing to center. That dump in pass doesn't get too far. McEwen picks it up, hits it to Schleier just in his feet. Schleier clears out of the zone. Wildcats back to center with the puck. Aaron brings it back into the Devils zone. Intercepted by Paquette. He gets it to the blue line, but not out. McDonald picks it up along the near boards. 1 minute to play in the period. McDonald in deep, gets to the far corner. The blue line lifted over Paquette's stick. Barth backs him up and sends it back in the zone. Wildcats cleared out immediately. And over the blue line, shot on target. Ellsworth made the save. Turn dumped down the ice by the Devils, and that'll be icing. Cinco takes the draw, wins it back to Freer in the near corner. Cinco battling. Look at it. To Bray in the near side. Bray at the half boards, lifts it, glove down by the Wildcats. They'll keep it in the zone. Pretty sloppy play. The Wildcats dump it in the near corner. Bray sends it just over the Wildcats blue line. 5 seconds to go in the period. Freer gets there first, sends it to Bray in the near side. That'll do it for the first period. Second period. McDonald in for the draw. He wins it back. Marlborough gets it to McDonald at center right. Off the near boards, McDonald picks it up. Checks it, centering pass to Carlo. Shot missed just wide of the net. McDonald tried to get a little fancy. Puck comes to the blue line. Just comes out. Into it. Cross to Parlow at the far blue line. Stick checked by the Wildcats. Clear the blue line. Clear the zone. Wildcats back in Devils territory. Shot held there by Ellsworth with a whistle. Owen McDonald stepping in to take the draw. Deep in the Devils zone. Puck's left there. Weak shot by the Wildcats. Doesn't go anywhere. McDonald picks up the loose puck. Takes it down the far wing. Lifts it around the defense. McDonald to the near corner. Gets bumped. Wildcats cleared up through center ice. Back in Devils territory. Shot blocked in front by McEwen. Second effort, blocked by Paquette this time. Rebound cleared up to center ice. Barth. Lost it as he got the zone. Got away with a bit of a trip there. McEwen tries to clear it. The linesman keeps it in for them. Wildcats dump it in around to the near boards. Barth to the blue line, not out. Wildcats still with possession deep in the Devil zone. Centering attempt. Stopped there by McEwen. Okay. Marcinko. Wildcats intercepted. Back to Paquette. Trying to make some space. Marcinko steps in. Gets the puck to the half boards. Falling Wildcat landed on it. Kept it in the zone for a second. Finally cleared out. Wildcats pass around the neutral ice, in over the blue line. Passing effort, stopped by Paquette. And the Devils will bring it up out of the zone. Lead pass for Smith, in over the blue line, shot. In the glove of the Wildcats goaltender. 12:42 to go in the second period. Marchenko take the draw. He wins it. Gets it to Topner at the blue line. Shot on target. Bad save by the Wildcats goaltender. Centering effort intercepted by the Wildcats. Now it'll roll all the way down into the Devils zone. Topner back to pick it up. Topner down the far wing. Hits the brakes. Makes a bit of room. Up to Bray. Bray lifts it in over the blue line. Wildcats turn and fire it on target, so Ellsworth has to play it. Topner gets it to the near corner for Smith. Smith, pass intended for Freer, intercepted by the Wildcats. Loose puck in front, cleared out of the way to the blue line, kept in by the Wildcats. Centering pass, shot missed wide of the net. Rebound comes all the way to the near point. Cross ice pass, miscalculated, clears the zone. Back to the Devils blue line and in. Freer clears it. And Wildcats going offside. Donald in for the draw. He wins it back to Marlborough, up to Douglas, who sends it down the ice. Wildcats pick it up in the far corner to the half boards. Marlborough pinching. It's to McDonald. Hinneman back in his own zone, up to Marlborough at center ice. Marlborough backhands it into the Wildcat zone. Played off the glass, and the linesmen keep it in for the Devils this time. Douglas runs into his man. McDonald picks up the loose puck in the far corner to the near side. Cross ice, 10 for Marlborough, just offside. Devils have to clear the zone. Marlborough lifts it to the blue line. Douglas sends it the rest of the way in. McDonald behind the Wildcats goaltender. Parlow comes up with it. Parlow to Marlborough at the blue line. Shot missed just wide. Hindeman picks up the rebound in the near corner to McDonald. McDonald spinning off the glass back into the corner. Parlow got dumped. Hindeman battling along the near boards at the blue line. Parlow to McDonald. McDonald shoots, he scores! Devils goal scored by number 11, Braden McDonald. The assist goes to 23. Tyus Parlow. $10:13 to go in the second period. Owen McDonald steps in to take the draw. Won by the Wildcats right to their D. He'll dump it in off the boards to the Devils blue line. He'll send it back in. The Wildcats zone. Clear to center ice. Freer ties up his man. Wildcats in over the blue line. Ellsworth saves that with his head. Hits the mesh. And gets the whistle. Takes the draw, won by the Wildcats to the blue line. Shot hits a body and deflects to the far blue line. Shot blocked in front by Marchenko. He goes down the puck, brings it into the Wildcat zone. Shot is underneath the goaltender. Somehow it doesn't go in. McDonald in for the draw. Loose puck picked up by Paquette. Paquette takes it to the near corner, sends it behind the net. Schleier out to Paquette, slightly intercepted by the Wildcats. Back to Schleier on the near side. Schleier pinned. McDonald steps in. Loose puck comes to Paquette along the half boards. Paquette drives it into the corner. McDonald off the boards. Barth with the shot. Held there by by the Wildcats, right off the near boards to Marlborough at the blue line. He keeps it in. Marlborough steps around his man, takes it in deep, shot from a tight angle. Save, rebound, missed just wide. Wildcats don't clear it. McDonald gets it in to Schleier. Finally cleared to the blue line and out. Wildcats down the near wing. Back in the Devils territory, cross ice. That was close intimate with a good stick to keep it out of the net. McDonald clears the zone. Just Wildcats pass it up to the Devils blue line and in the zone. Shot on target. Ellsworth will hold it. Takes the draw. Big shot. Missed just wide of the net. Rebound comes to the far corner. Cinco. Gray. McEwen. Ball in the far corner. Puck comes out from the near side. Trickles in front of Ellsworth, who jumps on it for the whistle. Back in for the drop. One cleanly, gets it back to Paquette in the near corner. He'll take it to the far side, off the glass hard. That'll come down to center ice. Wildcats lift it high into the zone, just a little too high. Hits the mesh. Donald steps in for the draw. Just outside of the Wildcat zone. He wins it. Topper turns and dumps it in. Wildcats off the near boards to center ice. Topper grabs that. Sends it across for Freer. Freer up the far wing. Gains the zone, but the Wildcats clear it back out. And they'll get a high stick. Wildcats are changing their goalie. Donald in for the draw. Wildcats with possession. Cleared off the far boards to center ice. Shipped into the Devils zone. Barlow behind the net to Topper in the near corner. Topper off the boards. Intended for Martin. Just a little too much on that one. Goes for icing. McDonald back in for the draw. Bouncing puck, Barlow gets that to Topper. He turns, fires it around the opposite wing. Puck comes to center ice. Right there. Martin to Parlow. Parlow with a wide open net off the post and in. That was a goal scored by number 23. Nice Parlow. In for the draw, when clean back to the Wildcats defense, sends it back to center ice. Wildcats in over the blue line, gets a shot, hits a stick, and goes into the net. 7:08 to go in the second period. Donald wins the draw back. Marlborough. Marlborough in the far corner. Schleier at the blue line. Schleier cross ice to Hindeman. Good turn, bring it in over the blue line. Hindeman takes it to the near corner. Puck's out front, cross ice pass. Devils couldn't get a stick on it. Wildcats cleared out, back into the Devils zone. Schleier gets back to pick it up. Harder on the boards, just out of Barth's reach. Dump in, Marlborough gets it up to Barth and over the blue line. Barth in the far corner. Shakes off the attacker, gets to the near side. Centering pass, shot by McDonald, and it's in. Devils goal scored by number 21, Owen McDonald. Cinco steps in for the draw, won by the Wildcats. Right off the near boards, Paquette gets it to Smith at center ice. Might have gotten tripped. Wildcats back in the Devil zone. To the near corner. Turns around to the blue line. Misfired. Paquette off the far boards. Ray tries to chip it around his Wildcats defense. Up in deep, shot. Wide open, just over the blocker of Albany. Donald in for the draw. Bouncing puck. Wildcats get it to the far blue line and in. McDonald shoved off the puck. Freer tries to send it off the glass. So Wildcats are there. To McDonald. Under pressure. Drags it out over the blue line. Douglas just overskated it. McDonald backs him up, picks up the loose puck. In over the blue line. McDonald. To Martin. Shot. Blocked in front. Second effort. By Hindeman, misses just wide. McDonald, cross ice pass intended for Hindeman, intercepted by the Wildcats. McDonald, good job back checking, gets to Hindeman. Another airmailed pass, grabbed down by the Wildcats. Cross ice to McDonald, does a good job settling that down. Picks it up over the blue line, cleared out by the Wildcats. Martin circling back, brings it back in the zone, shot. Off the blocker, rebound sat there, couldn't get shot off. Loose puck, finally gloved down by the goaltender. Donald in for the draw. One cleanly, Schleier back along the far boards. Gets it into the corner. Wildcats strip it from Schleier. Barth keeps it in at the blue line. Barth cycles back in the far corner to the point for Marlborough. Marlborough's shot was blocked. Clearing effort stopped by Marlborough. Puck finally cleared to center ice. Barth. Hindeman to Schleier. He'll turn and fire that in the zone. Wildcats goaltender out to play it, settles it down. Barth, McDonald from behind. Wildcats goal, battling it out. Woolwich clears to center ice. Marlborough turns, dumps it back in the zone to the near corner. Marcinko, cross ice, clears out, Hinneman, cross to Paquette. He'll turn and lift it into the zone. Off the back of the net, Bray, Marcinko, Smith, pressuring, back to Marcinko. He'll get it to the far corner. Centering pass to nobody. Bray got a stick on it to chip it to the near corner. Wildcats out of their zone, chip it into the Devils' end. Paquette under pressure. McEwen clears it out. Shot off the side of the net. Paquette off the glass to the blue line, not out. Glove down by the Wildcats. McEwen settles that puck down. Bray, Marcinko in over the blue line with Smith. Across to Smith. Smith with the backhand off the side of the mesh. Loose puck in deep to the near corner. Wildcats up to the half boards through center. McEwen. Paquette who sends it back in the zone. Smith pressuring. Loose puck picked up by Parlow, centered for McDonald. Couldn't get a stick on it. McDonald up the half boards. Kicks it into the far corner. Wildcats happy to send it to the near side before skating it out. Douglas to Freer. Freer circles behind his net. Hits the brakes. Changes directions again. Freer to Douglas at the half boards. Douglas in deep. To the far corner. Cross ice for Parlow. To McDonald. Wildcats dump it back in the zone. Freer in the near corner. Sends it to the far side to the half boards. Douglas. Cross ice. Just cleared the zone. McDonald picks up the loose puck through neutral ice and over the Wildcats blue line. Doesn't get the shot off. Puck goes to the far corner. Parlow. To McDonald. Back to Parlow. Topner's getting accosted in front of the net. Parlow with the puck in deep to the far corner. Wildcats finally get a piece of it to the near wing and out. Freer to McDonald. McDonald lifts it to Douglas off a skate, no icing. Parlow in deep. Drags it to the far corner. Douglas steps in to help him out. Shovels it to Parlow. Off the boards to Marlborough with the shot through traffic, missed just wide. Intimate in the near corner. Throws it on net off the post. Wildcats collect the loose puck, send it to the far corner. Turn, fire to the blue line. Marlborough keeps it in. Shot in the glove of the Woolwich goaltender. He'll hold on to it for the whistle. Just under 30 seconds to go in the period. Devils holding on to their 3-1 lead. Donald in for the draw. Bouncing puck collected by the Wildcats. Barth keeps it in the corner. Wildcats finally get a stick on it, and they'll send that down the ice. Icing's waved off. Marlborough back to pick it up. Turns, sends it to the opposite wing. For Hindeman. Up to Barth at center ice. Barth in over the blue line. McDonald pressuring shot. Blocker save. Rebound behind the net. Settled down. Comes to the blue line. Hindeman kept it in. That'll do it for the second period. Start the third period. McDonald steps in to take the draw. Wildcats collect the puck, chip it just in over the blue line. Paquette steers it along the half boards to the blue line, bounces out. Harlow in over the blue line, somehow stays on side. Shot, missed high. And that will be a whistle for a neck guard. Bring the face-off back into the Devils' territory. McDonald in for the draw. Won by the Wildcats. Shot from the point through traffic. Douglas clears that out to the near boards. Martin stretch pass. It's a stick just out of the reach of McDonald. The Wildcats clear that through center ice and chip it into the zone. Paquette collects it behind his net, plays it to the near corner for Martin. Back to Paquette to Douglas behind his net. Douglas out the far wing for Harlow. Harlow, stretch pass intended for Martin, intercepted by the Wildcats. In over the blue line. Gets to the near far corner, cross ice pass, missed everybody. Martin couldn't strip that one. McDonald up to Martin. Martin across behind Carlo. Carlo at the blue line. Skates through traffic. Puck still in the zone. Wildcats finally cleared out. Freer at center ice. It's like a pool out there. Puck's not going anywhere. Martin, Freer, and McDonald in the near wing. Off the boards, Schleier. In traffic, centers it, and McDonald got a bit of a backhand, but not enough to get much on the net. Wildcats cleared up the center, lifted into the Devils zone. Topner in the near corner. He'll send it behind the net for Freer. Freer up to center. The Wildcats collect it and bring it back the other way. Martin knocks it down at his own blue line. Topner gets it to Schleier. He gets bumped. Schleier gets the puck into the Wildcat zone. McDonald in on the forecheck. Got a piece of it. Held there by the Wildcats. Turn, fire it all the way down the ice for icing. Schleier steps in to take the draw. He wins it clean to Marlborough. Marlborough with a shot through traffic. Bad save by the goaltender. Schleier behind, centering pass. Barth got a piece of it, but it hopped up high. Shot from the point. Hit him, it was saved. Marlborough behind the net. He leaves it there for Schleier. Tries to get it out front, intercepted by the Wildcats. Cross ice pass off of McDonald's hand at center. McDonald gloves it down, settles down a bouncing puck, brings it up the near wing. Through traffic, Schleier at center ice. Drives it towards the Wildcats' blue line. Schleier still with the possession. Gets it in across behind Barth. Has to turn around and dumps it into the far corner. Schleier waiting for his team to change. Holds off his man. Wildcats come up with it. Stretch pass. Yeah, past everybody. That'll die before it hits the icing line. Intimate. Up through center. Puck's just sticking to the ice. Marcinko in over the blue line, gets a shot, missed just wide. McEwen turns and dumps it in deep to the near corner. Marcinko steps around 1 and 2. Centering pass to Smith. Over the glove and in the net. Devils goal number 72. Matt Smith. 11:29 to go in the third period. Marcinko. Marcinko steps in to take the draw. Refs are having a bit of a discussion. Loose puck picked up by Smith. Back to Douglas, across to Paquette. Get off the far boards. Past everybody and goes for icing. Donald steps in to take the draw. Won by the Wildcats to the point. Cross ice to the near wing. Shot in the chest of Ellsworth. He makes that save. The Wildcats pick up the loose puck, skate it to the far corner. Centering pass out front. Shot off the toe of Ellsworth. Kick it wide of the net. McDonald up to Martin and over the blue line. Martin across for Paquette. Couldn't hold that one down. He gets run over. McDonald through traffic gets it in deep. McDonald shot right into the glove of the Wildcats goaltender. Slyer back in, takes the draw. Bouncing puck. Picked up by the Wildcats. They'll take it behind their net. Up the near wing. To the blue line. Hindeman keeps it in. Gets it to McDonald. McDonald had a stick check. Wildcats back to the half boards. Slyer collects it. Loose puck. Picked up by the Wildcats. Dumped to the far boards. To the blue line. And the Devils are going back to the penalty kill. Tripping. Number 18. Quinn Slyer. 10:25 to go in the third period. McDonald steps in for the draw. Won by the Wildcats to the point. Cross ice. Just missed him. Shot blocked by Barth. Clearing attempt, second effort, finally goes down the ice. McDonald pressuring hard to get that puck first. Runs into his man. Wildcats pick it up to the near corner. Wildcats out over the blue line up to center ice. Back in the Devils' territory. Through traffic, Barth got a piece of it off the linesman's back, or the ref's back. Cleared back in over the Devils' blue line. Cross ice just out of his reach. Couldn't get the shot off. Puck played along the far boards to the blue line. Wildcats cycling it in deep. Shot held by Ellsworth for the whistle. Not sure where it is. McEwen steps in to take the draw. He wins it to Douglas, who turns and dumps it down the ice. 1 minute to go in the Devils' penalty. Kewen pressuring. Wildcats up the near wing. Bray to Paquette, who turns and dumps it into the opposite corner. Wildcats played up the center and into the Devils zone. Paquette, his clearing attempt hit a player. Second effort off the glass and down the ice. Kewen pressuring. Cinco. Wildcats down the far wing and over the blue line. Douglas strips that one, dumps it back into the Wildcat zone. 15 seconds to go on the Devils penalty. Wildcats up the near wing. In over the Devils blue line. Stops at the half boards, back to the point. The half boards, cycling at the blue line, pressured out by McDonald. Back to even strength. Wildcats cycling in their own end. Takes it through center ice and lifted into the Devils' end. Douglas tried to clear it out, hits the player and kept in the zone. Wildcats in the far corner of the Devils' territory. Centering pass off a skate of Paquette. Comes to Parlow. He'll hit Martin at center ice. Martin lifts it in through the defense. He gets pushed off the puck. And Wildcats goaltender will hold it for the whistle. McDonald steps in to take the draw. He wins it. Soccer from the point, shot on target, steered wide of the net. Parlow chases man behind. Wildcats out the far wing through center. Martin cuts his man off. They'll lift the puck in deep. Freer to the near corner for Martin. Sends it just out of the blue line. McDonald and Parlow just overskated it. Loose puck at center, picked up by Parlow. Parlow gains the zone. And the Wildcats are going to the box this time. 2 minutes for hooking. 7:22 to go in the third period. Owen McDonald to take the draw. Ball to Martin. Braden McDonald. Owen McDonald at the point. Parlow. McDonald. Back to Parlow into deep. Turn fired harder on the boards. Martin intercepted that. Owen McDonald centers it to Hindeman. Turn fired off a skate. Doesn't hit the net. Parlow to McDonald. McDonald shot through traffic. And it's in. Finds the back of the net. Devils goal scored by number 11, Braden McDonald. That might have been William Hindeman. I couldn't tell if it was tipped that scored that goal. Fire in for the draw. Draw picked up by the Wildcats. They'll shovel it into the Devils' territory to the near corner. Marlborough bumps his man. Wildcats throw it across to the far corner. McDonald just overskated it. Shot. Bad save by Ellsworth. Hindeman tries to throw it off the glass. Hits the mesh. Now we'll get a whistle. Slyer back in for the draw, won by the Wildcats to the point. Cross ice, picked up by McDonald. Arth shovels it forward. McDonald runs into his man. Marlborough almost intercepted that pass. Wildcats in the zone. stripped by Wildcats. Shot high over the mesh, over the glass and into the mesh. McEwen steps in for the draw. Bouncing puck, McEwen to Paquette. The far boards for Smith. Douglas got tripped and no call at all. Wildcats back at the blue line, turns, cycles it in deep to the near corner. Centering pass, loose puck, cleared out of the way by Smith. McEwen intended for Bray just behind him. Wildcats send that puck back in the Devils' territory. They called that one offside. McEwen back in for the draw, just outside of his blue line. Smith had it in his feet. Bray picks it up, gets it to Paquette. Paquette down the far wing, just overskated it. Cycles back, backhands to the Wildcats blue line. He'll lift it off the boards, no icing. Douglas back behind his net. Has a look, gets it to Smith. Smith under pressure. Paquette back to Douglas. Douglas lifts that to center ice. Bray pressuring. Off of Smith's skate, goes to the far corner of the Wildcat zone. Loose puck in front, cleared out of the way. Clearing attempt. Bray almost stripped that one. Loose puck. Wildcats in over the blue line. And we'll call the Devils for hooking. Devils penalty, number 20, Dante Douglas, 2 minutes for hooking. 4:46 to go in the third period. Barth steps in to take the draw. Won by the Wildcats to the point, shot through traffic, tipped wide of the net by their own man. Topner pressuring. Wildcats turn, fire, hits Freer, he's down, he felt that one. He's all right, skates off in pain. Barth collects the puck off the glass to the blue line, just clears the zone. And they'll call that a hand pass. Barth steps in to take the draw. Bouncing puck. Barth clears it to center. Marlborough. Cross to Hinneman, who turns and fires it behind the net to the near corner. Wildcats play it to center. Marlborough fires it in off the glove of one of the Wildcats. Think twice about doing that again. Marlborough backing over the blue line. He gets bumped, gets the puck into the near corner. Marlborough. Wildcats played around the far side, out over the blue line, dumped back in by Barth. Devils will change a couple. McDonald, fresh legs off the bench, in over the blue line. Getting fancy. Somehow they got away with that hook. Harlow, good stick check, keeps the puck in deep in the Wildcat zone. Bouncing puck, Harlow at center, just overskated it. McDonald picks up the pass in over the blue line. McDonald circling, turns, fires it in deep to the near corner. To the Wildcat blue line out. Hinneman collects that puck. Just turns and lifts it in behind the net. Wildcats stretch pass to center ice. Hinneman intercepts it. Lifts it to the near boards to the blue line and jams it in. Wildcats clear it out. Ellsworth steers it off the side of his pad to the far corner. Wildcats had a piece of it. McDonald strips it back to 5-on-5. McDonald 1-on-1. He'll bury that one. Devils goal scored by number 11, Braden McDonald. He definitely got that one. Slyer steps in to take the draw after that Devils goal. Paquette picks it up, takes it down the far wing, in over the blue line. And in deep. Paquette just lost it behind the Wildcats net. They'll turn, fire it out the far boards to center. Topner back in his own zone, collects the puck. Takes it all the way behind his net before he comes up the near wing. Through center, in over the blue line. Lifts it to the near corner behind the net. Topner hits the brakes. Still has it. Finally gets knocked off the puck. The Wildcats stretch pass the far wing. Paquette collects it, hits the brakes to the far corner of the Devil zone. Paquette behind to Topner in the near corner. Up to McDonald. One-touch pass intended for Barth. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Devils, or Wildcats, sorry. Misplayed. Barth picks up the loose puck. Shot from a steep angle, hits the defense, skate, and goes to the near corner. Centering attempt. McDonald had his stick tied up. Wildcats bring it up through center ice and lift it into the Devil zone. Marlborough sends it back into the Wildcats territory. They'll just lift it up. 3-on-1. Steps around one shot. Ellsworth holds that for the whistle. .117 to go in the third period. Marcinko steps in, take the draw. Wildcats pick it up. In some traffic. Finally get a piece of it to the far corner. Hindeman backhand to the near side. Marlborough. He gets bumped. Marcinko bumps his man. Marlborough. Marcinko. Stretch pass. Hindeman along the far boards. He'll turn, send it to the near wing for Marlborough. Just overskated it. Wildcats. In off the glass, offside. Cleared out by McEwen. And the Wildcats dump it back in. Hindeman, 30 seconds to go in the period. Marlborough sends it up the near wing. Smith pressuring. Wildcats clear it off to the near side, in over the blue line. One last rush, 15 seconds to go in the period. Shot. Somehow Ellsworth got a piece of that one. Cleared to the near corner. Douglas off the glass and down to the near wing. Back in the Wildcats zone. Content just to kill the clock, and that'll do it for the game. Final score